You've heard of unconditional love, but have you heard of the secret to unconditional happiness and allowing more into your life? More wealth, more success, and more love. More freedom in your life right now. Welcome to the Happy Bar with Israel Savage.
Haven't you had the experience before of being, say, in the shower, focusing on the water, the feel of the water, feeling it, clearing space in your head so that there's no judgments, no thoughts, and then you receive an inspired idea. And you know it's inspired because it seems to come from nowhere, but with a knowing that is beyond knowing, you realize that this is something I must do, and it's completely unrelated to showering. I'm sure you've had an experience like that, whether it was while you were showering or running or driving. But when we make space, and by make space, I mean we remove noise, primarily the noise that comes from our own judgments and our own criticisms of ourselves and other people. When there is focused silence, say listening to the sound of a treadmill as you are running, or the hum of the road underneath your tires as you are driving. Silence, space. When there is silence filled with emotional expectation. In the shower, there's a quality of the emotion. The feel of the water. There's a sense of well-being, a sense of peace. Or as we run on the treadmill, there is a sense of health, of vigor, of vitality. Then we receive ideas that have the same emotional quality as those thoughts, as that emotional state that we are in. Let me prove this to you with your own experience. It works in reverse. Have you ever been on a subway or driving a car or wherever, whenever, and you are feeling fearful or vulnerable, and out of nowhere, a thought seems to come to you, a girlfriend who dumped you 10 years ago that you haven't thought about, but it feels very similar to how you are feeling now. And then you marinate in that for a few seconds, and another thought that comes to you from a dream that you had years ago where you felt very fearful and vulnerable. You see, the law of attraction states, what you focus on, you make more of. If you don't like the idea of the law of attraction, how about the law of momentum? Or how about motion? Objects in motion tend to stay in motion. The truth here, the science here of what's happening is that your brain is searching for a similarly feeling thought or experience. And so doesn't it make sense, if you want to have better feeling and better feeling experiences, that you need to feel better? Because it's in the feeling better that you begin to attract better feeling thoughts. And so you start to have memories and inspirations and ideas come to you that will make you feel in a more and more better feeling way. And you start to rendezvous with people who line up with how you're feeling. It's as if you begin to attract people who are kindred spirits. We always attract people who are kindred spirits. You have only to look at your environment. If you're wondering how you're doing emotionally or how you're doing spiritually, look around you. I can tell you for certain, if you look around yourself and you see people who are grumpy and not appreciative, not feeling good about life, then that's what you've got going on in your own vibration. Our external world is just a mirror into what's happening for us vibrationally and emotionally, what's happening internally for us. Another barometer of how you're doing are pets and children. They are very susceptible to emotion and vibration, and they take on the vibrations and emotions very easily of the people around them. And so if you have kids and you have kids who are acting out, seem to be angry or throwing tantrums, you need to take a look at what's going on for yourself. What's going on in there? Is it possible that these children, being the sensitive beings that they are picking up on some discontent, some resentment that I have inside of me? Now, the idea here is you don't want to focus on the resentment. Remember, what you focus on, you make more of. You simply want to notice it and then pivot and place your focus on the opposite, in many cases, feeling, the opposite pleasant feeling, emotion. Focus on something that feels good. Now, sometimes that means leaving the topic altogether that your unpleasant emotions were attached to. For instance, let's take money. If I pick up the subject of money, there are really two topics within this subject of money. There's the having of the money and what that feels like, and the not having. And if there is fear and doubt, and that is my primary vibration or practice thought pattern around money, then when I pick up that subject, that's what's going to be activated. And so, better to leave that subject alone altogether and place my attention on things that don't have as much resistance involved. And by resistance, I mean disbelief or doubt or fear that are easier to feel good about. My go-to thought is always my children when they were babies. And by babies, I mean 2 and 3. And there are certain moments that I think about that are like emotional snapshots. They just make me smile.
If you liked what you just heard, then take inspired action now. That's right, act while you are feeling good. And build on your momentum. Schedule your free discovery call with me at instudios-nyc.com/happybar.